This page is the vibrant cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, prominently featuring a large, detailed model of a green creature with large ears and a wide grin, carrying some mechanical gear. The bold yellow Saturn Fan logo dominates the top of the page. The cover highlights several upcoming and featured games for the Sega Saturn. Key features include previews and articles on titles like A Gazelle, Panzer Dragoon RPG, Slayers Royal, Princess Crown, Sonic Jam, Last Bronx, Thunder Force V, and others like Real Sound, Machi and Bulk Slash. There's a special feature on Dokusei 2 and Super Robot Tyson F, and a continuous strategy guide for Kakusei. The issue is dated June 13, 1997, number 11, priced at 560 yen. A major headline teases Enix's first entry on the system, with screen photo reveals, alongside a large feature on Satsufu no Shima Monogatari, described as a fantasy adventure. This page celebrates Sega Saturn's impressive showing at the first SEGA Awards in 1996. Declaring itself the winner of the 96 #1 Software Award, the page features a large thank you message. It proudly states that Sega Saturn captured a remarkable 8 awards across 7 categories out of the 23 presented. Prominently featured award-winning games include the groundbreaking RPG Sakura Taisen, the fast-paced light gun game Virtua Cop 2, the whimsical platformer Nights into Dreams, and the athletic competition title Decathlete, showcasing the console's diverse and acclaimed software lineup. This page is an advertisement for the Sega Saturn fighting game Rabbitote, featuring dynamic character art, gameplay screenshots, and details its June 27 release date and price. This page features a large advertisement for the realistic fishing simulation game, Fishing Koshin, now available on Sega Saturn. The striking artwork showcases a large bass leaping from the water, highlighting the game's focus on intense fishing action. It also features screenshots showing different perspectives and tournament rounds within the game. Released on May 30 for Sega Saturn, it promises a realistic fishing experience and is also available on PlayStation. On the right is the table of contents for the June 13, 1997 issue, number 11, of Saturn Fan Magazine. The cover story features Tsuifu no Shima Monogatari. Key previews and features include the highly anticipated strategy RPG Super Robot Tyson F, the classic dating sim Dokusei 2, and a Sega Dynamic preview section covering titles like Last Bronx, Sonic Jam, and Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG. There are also features on Princess Crown, Roommate Ryuko in Summer Vacation, and a section dedicated to ongoing game reports and reviews across various genres. This page is the dedicated cover story for the highly anticipated adventure game, Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, or Story of the Seven Winds Island, from Enix. The striking visual features a collaboration with the acclaimed artist Keita Amemiya, showcasing his unique style with a magnificent, golden dragon-like creature and several whimsical smaller characters. The page highlights this title as a precious fairy tale, confirming its status as the main feature of the magazine issue. A small data box at the bottom provides essential details, identifying it as an adventure game for the Saturn console and indicating its development progress. This page continues the focus on Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, presenting it as Enix's first Saturn title, developed by Jiburo. The article describes the game as a playable picture book, based on the world created by Keita Amemiya. It highlights the emphasis on sensing the environment, solving mysteries, and the unique, poetic style of dialogue. The player takes the role of Gaopu, the main character, exploring the island and its strange inhabitants. Several screenshots and illustrations showcase the game's distinct visual style, including the main character Gaopu, various scenes from the island, and impressive creature designs like a large skeletal structure. The developers aim to make exploration itself enjoyable, not just reaching objectives. This page expands on the world of Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari by showcasing many of the fantastical creatures inhabiting the island, each with unique and bizarre designs like the yellow Rokuzu or the blue Kisuke. The developers clearly poured creativity into these diverse multi-jointed characters, brought to life with rich animation patterns. The page also highlights the game's audio design, crediting Buddy Zoo for the unique music and Mint Company Limited for sound effects aimed at creating a subtle yet immersive natural presence. Small screenshots demonstrate these creatures and their environments within the game. This page delves deeper into the world of Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, showcasing the unique island setting with various screenshots of fantastical locations like a giant egg house, mysterious forests, and a cavern lake. It highlights the inclusion of elaborate live-action puppet animation movies within the game that reveal the island's secrets. Character and game designer Keita Amemiya shares that his vision for the game dates back 20 years and remains largely unchanged. The page also details an ongoing exhibition in Tokyo, displaying Amiya's work and game models, including the Dr. Gerp model featured on the magazine cover, noting differences from the in-game version. Production is reported to be going smoothly, with more information expected soon. This page features Super Robot Wars F, detailing its new protagonists and their dynamic battle sequences. It introduces the Dramatic Voice Event (DVE) system, which incorporates classic anime scenes and famous voiced lines to heighten the drama during gameplay. The page highlights improved combat effects and character-specific dialogue, ensuring battles are visually and audibly engaging. Players will also be pleased to know that protagonists from Super Robot Wars 4 are making a return. Screenshots display various robot battles and character portraits, showcasing the game's presentation. This page continues the focus on Super Robot Wars F, delving into the various types of demo scenes used to elevate the gameplay experience. It highlights 3 distinct categories: normal demos, which are the traditional dot-picture animations building on previous games featuring transformations and combinations; new CG demos, showcasing impressive computer graphics for robot introductions and launches like Mazinkaiser and Getter Robo; and revolutionary movie demos that integrate actual anime footage and voice clips for iconic moments, such as the launch of Mazinger Z or Evangelion Unit 01. These diverse demo styles work together to vividly recreate memorable scenes from the featured anime series, enhancing the game's presentation and impact. Screenshots across the page showcase examples of these different demo types and the key robots featured. This page continues the exploration of Super Robot Wars FK, focusing on new presentation features and classic robot series. It introduces the Dramatic Voice Event (DVE) system, bringing voice dialogue to strategic map events for enhanced immersion, showcasing screenshots of characters speaking during these moments. The page highlights the inclusion of iconic lines, featuring Asuka's famous quote from Evangelion and Banju's line from Daytarn 3, discussing the significance of these moments. There's anticipation expressed for which other memorable lines from various series like Mazinger Z, Getter Robo, and Ideon will be included using this system. The page also includes a Super Robot Memorial File segment dedicated to the legendary giant Ideon, discussing its unique concept and impact, alongside a column from producer Terada, sharing his definition of a super robot. Combat screenshots from the game are displayed throughout. This page shifts focus entirely to the upcoming simulation game, Dukyusei 2. The main feature introduces a mysterious new character, asking, "Who is she?" with speculation about her identity and significance based on screenshots showing her appearance in town. The article provides profiles for established characters, like Misako Narusawa, portrayed as a kind mother figure, and Yui Narusawa, the younger sister known for being a bit of a handful but devoted to the protagonist. Various screenshots illustrate daily life events and character interactions, reflecting the game's slice-of-life adventure style with specific dates and times shown, hinting at the game's schedule-based progression. The anticipation for the game's July release is evident, promising more story and character reveals up to the in-game date of December 25th. This page delves further into the characters of Dukyusei 2, presenting profiles and key events for several potential heroines. We meet Mizuno Tomomi, the protagonist's childhood friend, exploring moments around a broken promise. Next is Maishima Karen, a busy idol whose schedule impacts her interactions. Shinohara Izumi, a strong-willed girl from a wealthy family, is featured in scenes hinting at her personality through actions like buying treats and movie tickets. The page also introduces Minamikawa Yuko, the rebellious bike-loving daughter of a bike shop owner, highlighting her struggles with family expectations. Finally, Katu Minori, a girl with a unique appearance, is shown in a school accident scene, revealing her gentle nature. These character profiles and event screenshots showcase the distinct personalities and interwoven storylines players will experience in the game, providing glimpses into their relationships and daily lives up to December 25th. This page continues our deep dive into the heroines of Dukyusei 2. We meet Tsuduki Kozue, a sweet and considerate girl who shows her respect for the protagonist in unexpected ways, including a memorable moment after a tennis court fall. The beautiful homeroom teacher, Katagiri Misuzu, is profiled, highlighting her gentle nature and concern for the protagonist's future, although there are hints of her own personal troubles. Next is Yasuda Megumi, a cute and shy nursery school teacher, first encountered saving a child from a dangerous accident, leading to a touching Christmas scene. We also visit Sugimoto Sakurako, confined to the hospital but hoping for company, showing her vulnerability and longing for connection. Finally, we're introduced to Suzuki Hiroko, a stunning convenience store worker with a mysterious dislike for students from the protagonist's school, and Tanaka Misa, a cheerful yet somewhat pushy girl met near the station. These profiles reveal more of the diverse personalities and potential storylines awaiting players. This page previews the Sega Saturn port of the 3D fighting game, Last Bronx. It excitedly announces the confirmed inclusion of the character Red Eye. The article emphasizes that the Saturn version is being developed by the same team as the arcade original, promising a faithful and high-quality conversion. Key improvements highlighted are enhanced visuals, including more realistic and dynamic weapon trails, and highly detailed character models, costumes, and even tattoos. The game also features new victory poses, with added dialogue, bringing more personality to the characters after a win. Screenshots throughout the page showcase the game's detailed graphics and action. The overall tone is positive, suggesting the Saturn port is shaping up to be a strong rendition of the arcade hit, with worthwhile enhancements. This page continues the deep dive into Red Eye, revealing him as the toughest boss in the arcade version of Last Bronx, and confirming his inclusion as a playable character in the Sega Saturn port. The article speculates on his mysterious nature and fighting style, noting his powerful body half-depleting throw and overall strong techniques. Screenshots showcase intense combat moments, including time over, sudden death, and ring-out scenarios, highlighting the detailed character models and the game's dynamic action. A section dedicated to combos demonstrates a powerful air combo sequence. The text emphasizes the developer's meticulous attention to detail, particularly in rendering Red Eye's physique, promising a faithful and enhanced experience on the Saturn. The page poses questions about Red Eye's story and origin, adding intrigue to the upcoming release. This page presents a detailed look at several characters from the upgraded Sega Saturn version of Last Bronx. It showcases the improved character models and dynamic actions of 8 core fighters. We see Koyohana with his signature nunchaku, Jitaru Daimon's powerful hammer attacks, Toma's impressive reach, and Nagi's varied techniques and throws. Also featured are Yusaku Kurosawa, noted for his menacing style, Lisa Kusanagi with her tricky tactics and flashy moves, and Yoko Tsukamoto, highlighting her strong throws and detailed character rendering. Developer comments touch upon the ongoing work, including weapon effects and texture adjustments, promising a significant step up from the arcade version and the initial Saturn demo, with the team now entering the second phase of production. An appeal for reader feedback is also included. This page dives into the features of Sonic Jam for Sega Saturn, highlighting the Sonic World Hub area. It reveals details about the 6 time attack minigames available within Sonic World, including challenges like collecting rings, hitting points, and popping balloons, all against the clock. The page also details 5 interactive buildings in Sonic World that serve as a comprehensive database. These include a music shop for listening to BGM and sound effects, an art gallery showcasing various illustrations, a hall of fame detailing the series' history, and a character house presenting profiles and designs for Sonic, his friends, and Dr. Eggman, and his enemies. The game compiles the original Sonic games from the Mega Drive and adds this new 3D world for exploration and bonus content. This page continues the deep dive into Sonic Jam, showcasing various animated features accessible within the game. It covers previews of the Sonic OVA, the opening and ending sequences from Sonic CD highlighting their smooth animation, experimental CG and cell animation, and even previously unreleased test footage described as Sonic Ride. Screenshots from these different animated contents are featured, including Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, and Metal Sonic. The page also shifts focus to a Sega dynamic preview for J.League Pro Soccer Club, Wo Tsukaru 2. It highlights a new feature allowing players to transfer their custom-trained players to a friends club using a password system, adding a new layer to competition and data exchange. The game also allows players to compete against real J.League clubs and international teams. A photo of the developers is shown, and the page promises more information and a developer interview on the next page. This page delves further into J.League Pro Soccer Club Wo Tsukaru 2, revealing the critical new stadium command. This feature allows players to manage local and stadium investments, influencing town development and attracting more fans, ultimately boosting the club's growth. The game offers an impressive choice of over 1,200 potential hometowns to select from across Japan when starting your club. The page also includes an insightful interview with the game's developers, producer Minoru Matsuura, planner Osamu Ohashi, and chief programmer Akihito Wada. They discuss the new personal password system for transferring custom players between saves or friends clubs, enhancing competition. They also touch upon implementing in-match instructions, strategic formations, player training, and the various game-ending conditions based on player success and club progress. This page explores the dragon's evolution in a Chazal Panzer Dragoon RPG, focusing on the type select and model change systems that promise potentially unlimited variations. The dragon's growth is influenced by three factors: model change, type select, and experience points gained through combat. Model change dramatically alters the dragon's appearance and base abilities upon meeting specific conditions after clearing stages or defeating bosses, independent of level. Type select is a player choice that further modifies the dragon's shape and parameters. The article showcases different standard forms, models 0 through 2, highlighting their distinct appearances and hinting at a final form, and many more variations. It also touches on the comparison to the evolution system in the previous title, Panzer Dragoon Saga, and reveals screenshots of the dragon's flight mode and status screen displaying its abilities. The possibility of hidden dragons or secrets is also teased, hinting at traditional Panzer Dragoon elements. This page features exciting news from Sega and Atlus. Sega is bringing back some popular titles. The SEGA Grand Prize winner Sakura Wars is getting a limited edition re-release, and the award-winning Virtua Cop 2 is available in a special gun set package. They're also adding masterpieces like Knights and Decathlete to their budget Sada Kore collection, making these classics accessible. The main highlight is the sudden announcement of Princess Crown, a collaborative action RPG from Sega and Atlus. The report emphasizes its incredibly detailed graphics and smooth character movements, achieved through a new morphing system that allows for complex animation from fewer base images, promising visuals 10 times more expressive than previous methods. This game promises a deep world and action-packed gameplay. This page delves deeper into the recently announced Princess Crown. The game features stories centered around 4 main and sub-characters, with profiles shown for the young Princess Gradriel, the Dragon Slayer Edward, the magic user Proserpina, and the pirate Portgas. The narrative begins with a prologue detailing the history involving the wise King Elfarin, and leads into Gradriel's quest to become a wise and strong ruler like her mother, as highlighted by the text banner. Progress is made through clearing stages on a world map. Combat is a core focus, presented as intense, one-on-one action battles. The gameplay mechanics include various attack types, a power gauge for special moves, and a detailed defense system featuring blocking and evasion options like backstep and sidestep. Magic in the game is item-based, accessed via an item ring system, offering diverse effects like ice and fire spells. Powerful special moves, such as creating clones, are also showcased. This page announces the return of Ryuko in the sequel, Roommate Ryuko, in Summer Vacation. Set during a 1-week summer break, this living-together simulation game focuses on deepened communication with the virtual heroine. The game features greatly increased events compared to the prequel, including the ability to go out on dates to various locations and enjoy mini-games like tennis with Ryuko. Screenshots showcase different scenes, including phone calls, dialogue options, going out, and playing games together. The page also mentions details about the game's release and a fan club launch, along with related merchandise like trading cards. This page features the first installment of a series introducing the game Chaos Seed, an enhanced port from the SFC. It's described as a dungeon-raising simulation game heavily influenced by Feng Shui concepts. The article breaks down the setting and gameplay, introducing the protagonist, a Sexian Shi who nurtures dungeons and manipulates energy, and contrasting them with evil Sexian Shi who exploit the land. Key characters like the Old Master Sanji Laoshi and other figures like Ryu Raikan and Ko Meiho are showcased with illustrations. Screenshots display the game's perspective, showing towns and dungeon-like areas inspired by ancient China. The page also includes a glossary, explaining core terms like Yang Qi and Shixian Shu, fundamental to the game's mechanics, emphasizing the strategic interaction between different elements based on Feng Shui principles. The next page features a manga comic continuing the explanation of Chaos Seed, Presented as a dungeon-raising simulation game, the characters humorously discuss the game's obscurity and its complex feng shui-based gameplay, where players raise dungeons and manipulate energy. Sanji Laoshi joins to help explain, emphasizing the game's depth despite its challenging concept. The comic highlights the game's lack of mainstream recognition and debates the marketing appeal of a dungeon-raising simulation, concluding with a humorous misunderstanding by one character and the promise of a continued explanation in the next issue. This page presents a comprehensive strategy guide for the dating simulation game Kakusei, focusing heavily on how to successfully romance the character Nana. It breaks down the best times and locations for dating, offering insights into how to raise her affection level effectively. The guide provides tips on navigating conversations and understanding Nana's preferences at various date spots like amusement parks and museums. Screenshots illustrate key moments and dialogue choices during dates. The article also touches on the game's overall writing quality and the depth of its characters, emphasizing the importance of patience and understanding in building a relationship within the game. This page continues the strategy guide for the dating simulation game Kakusei. It heavily focuses on the character Mayumi Tachibana, outlining how to encounter her preferred date spots like the game center Starship, and general advice for building a relationship. The guide also provides seasonal event details for the character Nana, showcasing key moments and locations throughout the year, such as pool dates in summer and Christmas events in winter. The page emphasizes understanding each girl's personality and tailoring your approach for dating success. The next page continues the Kakusei strategy guide, offering a seasonal event guide for various characters on the left, featuring screenshots of specific moments throughout the year. The main focus is on Minatsu Yamashita, a withdrawn character. The guide provides detailed advice on how to connect with her, emphasizing the need to build trust and understand her past trauma. It highlights key locations for meeting her, like the coffee shop Geshita, and explains the importance of listening and responding carefully during conversations. The page also covers Minatsu's preferred date spots, such as the amusement park, and gives general tips for deepening the relationship once dating begins, stressing patience and sincerity. This page continues the Kakusei coverage with an event guide on the left, detailing seasonal events with character illustrations, covering different locations like the coffee shop, garden pool, amusement park, and world park. It shows various characters in different situations. The right side features Live UP to Elf Extend, showcasing goods related to the game. It includes a photo of the artist, discusses a poster dream project, highlights trading cards, and details a special present campaign for fans involving pins. This page dives into the world of Martian successor Nadesico, with the second installment of the guide. The focus here is on achieving the coveted happy ending with the female crew members, specifically highlighting the possibility of dating both Ines Frasange and Haokomi. The guide explains the strategy to win over these two characters, which is presented as a significant challenge compared to the others. Sections are dedicated to building relationships with the girls, planning your in-game schedule effectively, and making the right choices during events to increase affection. There are specific spotlights on how Manking's events, including soccer and interactions in the staff room, and in Genking's activities like battle games and fishing, showcasing various scenes and character reactions from the game. Conquering these relationships is presented as the key to truly completing the game. This page presents a strategic breakdown for Advanced World War, Millennium War. It details Germany's final operation towards global conquest, reaching across the Atlantic to America. The guide highlights the complexity of the campaign's branching paths, explaining how player choices influence the story and available maps. A key focus is placed on earning victory points, VP, emphasizing that speed is paramount. Achieving victory quickly is the most effective way to maximize VP gain. The page also provides a key for map symbols used in the game, and includes various screenshots illustrating gameplay and unit details. This page continues the Advanced World War Strategy Guide, diving into two specific scenarios. The first, Battle of the North Pacific, outlines a naval campaign emphasizing the advantage of Allied air power and strategic movement towards Boston. The second, titled Towards Complete Victory, details how to capitalize on early reinforcements to advance on New York and later encircle key enemy positions. Both sections offer tactical insights, list usable generals for the missions, and showcase screenshots of the battle maps and unit details. The page also highlights different naval aircraft types, like the Wildcat and Hellcat, and includes a table detailing victory point conditions for numerous maps within the game. This page features a striking advertisement for the Sega Saturn game, Chujiku Yusai Macross. I oboete imasuka. Macross. Do you remember love? The ad highlights the game's release date, June 6th, and showcases the iconic character Lin Min-mei alongside game screenshots. It's a horizontal scrolling shooter based on the classic movie. This page presents a vibrant advertisement for the Sega Saturn visual novel, Kakusei, Underclassmen, developed by Elf. The page features a large, striking illustration of one of the game's prominent female characters on the right, alongside numerous smaller, scattered images depicting various characters and intimate scenes, hinting at the game's focus on relationships. The tagline suggests a theme of conveying deep emotions. The ad confirms the game is now on sale as a 3-disc CD-ROM set for 7,800 yen. Given the imagery and the prominent 18+ age rating displayed, it's clearly targeting a mature audience interested in character-driven dating simulation experiences, a genre Elf was well known for. This page features 2 distinct game advertisements. On the left is the announcement for Shinsetsu Samurai Spirits, Bushido Retsuden, an RPG spin-off of the popular Samurai Spirits fighting series. It showcases a striking live-action samurai image alongside game screenshots, detailing its release on Neo Geo CD, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation. The right side promotes V-Force, an anime-style title, likely a visual novel or strategy game, featuring prominent character artwork and mentioning related media such as a soundtrack, drama CD, novel, and fan book scheduled for release. Both ads provide release dates and pricing information for their respective products. This page features 2 distinct game advertisements. On the left is J.League Go Go Goal, a soccer game exclusive to the Sega Saturn, showcasing dynamic in-game screenshots and logos of various J.League teams. It emphasizes fast-paced gameplay. The right side promotes Eberouge, an anime-style simulation or adventure game centered around friendship and adventure. The artwork features numerous female characters in different scenarios, highlighting the game's visual novel or character-driven gameplay style. The advertisement also lists the voice cast for the characters. This page features advertisements for 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is DX3RD, a 3D fighting game from Takara that emphasizes high-speed combat in environments utilizing ceilings and walls as battlefields. The game employs a system designed to promote aggressive play over defensive waiting and features motion-captured character movements and fluid combinations of weapon and fist attacks. The advertisement also showcases character models from the game. On the right, the classic shoot-'em-up Terra Cresta gets a 3D revival on the Sega Saturn from Nichibutsu, simply stating its upcoming release with details on a first-run bonus to be announced soon. The next page features an advertisement for the Sega Saturn game Sentimental Graffiti, showcasing images suggesting the game's theme along with its release date and price. Adjacent to this is a multi-part guide or advertisement for the Interwave Internet service on the Sega Saturn, detailing the steps required to get the console connected online and featuring the service's character mascot. This page features Stakes Winner 2, a horse racing game for Sega Saturn and PlayStation, highlighted with vibrant, almost cartoon-like artwork of horses and jockeys in action, alongside screenshots showing the gameplay interface. The focus is on the game's availability and its breeding system, even showing a section for entering breeding passwords to create powerful horses. Adjacent is the Kingdom of Saturn section, packed with data and information for fans. The News Dynamite article reports on a special event at Suzuka Circuit featuring real-sized versions of the popular Mini 4WD cars from the Let's and Go series, tied into the game 1/1 GAN Blaster XTO. The event showcased the game and offered touch-and-tree demos for various Sega Saturn titles, creating excitement around upcoming releases and events. This page features postcard entry forms for Saturn Fan Magazine readers, specifically for issue number 11. It includes a section for the Kingdom of Saturn ranking street, and another for a reader-present entry department. Readers could fill in their details and preferences. One part lists games for a score table, including fighting game Groove on Fight, first-person shooter / action game Blam / Machine Head, the strategy title Ryuteki Gozen Nen, and the large-scale battle game War Squared Wars. Another section provides numbered boxes for readers to rank desired prizes offered in the magazine. This page covers a variety of news and features. We see coverage of the 10th anniversary Rockman Grand Exposition event, celebrating the series' history with interactive sections, and a look at the upcoming Rockman X4. The Tamagotchi CD-ROM is announced, available in different versions for PC and other systems, with unique bonuses depending on the retailer. A new fishing simulation game, Bassmasters, is released, promising a realistic experience. For Angelique fans, a new drama CD, Harmonia, is out, featuring songs and messages from voice actor Takehito Koyasu. The pickup section highlights new releases, like a Sakura Wars novel, the soundtrack for Digital Angel Tenshi SS, and a radio drama CD called Ginga ni Hoero. There's also information on a phone service, with voice actress Tomoko Sakurai, and details for an audition event. Finally, the page includes a giveaway section, offering various prizes, and lists the winners from a previous issue's contest. This page delves into the magazine's real-time game rankings, specifically focusing on Sega Saturn titles ranked up to April 11th. It explains the ranking system, which uses reader votes, and a point distribution method including negative points for disliked games. The page features a ranking report, analyzing the performance of new titles, highlighting how games like Sentimental Graffiti First Window managed to earn significant points and high scores from voters. It also presents a separate analysis focusing on the Sakura Wars series, comparing its top position in the main ranking to other related titles, and discussing how reader support influences the results. Large tables detailing the full rankings with points and voter counts are provided, showcasing the relative popularity of numerous Saturn games among the readership. This page offers an exhaustive database of all Sega Saturn games, released up to May 23, 1997, totaling a comprehensive 618 titles. The list is meticulously organized by genre, spanning categories like fighting action, simulation, adventure, role-playing, and shooting games. Each entry provides key details, including the game title, manufacturer, release date, price, and supported peripherals. A reference guide clarifies the abbreviations used for various compatible controllers and accessories, ensuring clarity for players seeking specific hardware support. This serves as an essential record of the entire Japanese Saturn software library available at the time. This page continues the comprehensive Sega Saturn game database, detailing titles released up to May 1997. The list spans various genres, including sports, race, table, puzzle, mahjong, education/database, CG, and other titles. Each entry provides essential information, such as the game title, manufacturer, release date, price, and compatible peripherals, offering a complete overview of the Japanese Saturn software library available at the time across these diverse categories. The next page presents a reader survey and a chance to win prizes by participating. Readers are asked about their demographics, other magazines they read, gaming platforms they own, and their preferences regarding articles and games featured in the magazine. By completing the survey, readers can enter a draw for presents, including popular Sega Saturn titles and phone cards. The page provides lists of articles in this issue, various gaming magazines, and different console types, which serve as options for the survey questions. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to an extensive list of Sega Saturn software titles, expanding on the database from the previous page, and showcasing the diverse range of games available for the system. Details on how to correctly fill out the survey postcard are also included. This page showcases a joint project between Victor Saturn Fan and Hudson Soft, centered around the horse racing simulation game, Yushun Classic Road. On the left, it details a GI battle race event, where players compete by raising their virtual horses. It outlines the race schedule, required application method, and various prizes for top finishers, including portable CD players and controllers. The right side features a special Hudson Fan section for Sega Saturn players, highlighting upcoming titles and recent releases. It previews games like Virus and Momotaro Dochuki, along with others including Willy Wombat and Bulk Slash. The page features vibrant illustrations of Hudson characters, prominently displaying a large, energetic character and characters from the Momotaro series. This page provides an in-depth look at the game Virus, highlighted as a highly anticipated hybrid adventure title. It details the game's unique fusion of traditional animation characters placed within detailed CG environments, creating a distinct visual style for both exploration and battle sequences. The feature showcases intense battle scenes rendered entirely in CG, focusing on combat against a formidable viral monster codenamed Red Claw. Images display the enemy's powerful attacks, emphasizing the detailed 3D rendering. The page also previews the adventure sections, presenting atmospheric 3D environments like dimly lit hallways and rooms, suggesting an immersive player perspective. Development progress is noted, indicating the game is nearing completion. The large virus logo dominates the bottom, reinforcing the focus on this upcoming title. This page provides a comprehensive look at the world of Virus, delving into the fundamental concepts of its setting. It explains the game's hybrid nature, where players navigate between the real world and cyberspace. The process of entering the digital realm, known as dive or jack-in, is detailed, along with the structure of cyberspace itself, officially called Processing Alive. This digital world is depicted as a complex network comprising various types, including commercial, public, and illegal networks. The article highlights specific networks like the crime-ridden ResortNet and the adventurous FantasyNet, showcasing diverse screenshots from these digital environments and the real world. Finally, it teases the game's underlying mystery and the large cast of characters players will encounter. This page features the latest entry in the Momotaro Dentetsu series, titled Momotaro Dentetsu Duchuki. This installment is a board game set during the Edo period in Japan, offering a fresh experience distinct from previous games. It emphasizes traveling across the country on foot. Key gameplay features include building sekisho checkpoints to earn revenue when other players land on them, a new Edo period mode that makes income dynamic based on dice rolls, and a variety of ori cards with different effects, such as boosting progress or hindering opponents. The page showcases several screenshots displaying the game board, character interactions, and the visual style fitting the historical setting. It highlights how geographical information and local details are incorporated, making the journey across Edo-era Japan a central part of the fun and strategy. This page features updates on a game, seemingly related to the Momotaro series, announcing that Demon Kogure and Takawaki Hyde will appear as characters involved in in-game events. The page displays character portraits and screenshots showing them within the game world, highlighting their roles and expected interactions. Additionally, the page includes information about Panzer Dragoon RPG, likely Panzer Dragoon Saga, featuring an image of a creature and a section explaining a craft called parappa morphing, which involves cutting and arranging paper images to create animation-like effects. This page delves into a Gizel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, known widely as Panzer Dragoon Saga. It features the game's distinctive artwork, including the logo and key character visuals. The page briefly mentions the game's shift to the RPG genre from its shooting roots, aiming to appeal to a wider audience. A central gameplay element highlighted is the shape-shifting dragon, detailed in the point guidance section. This system allows players to customize the dragon's abilities like attack, defense, and agility, enabling different dragon forms. The para-para morphing sequence visually demonstrates this transformation through a series of images, showing the dragon changing shape alongside its evolving stats, linking directly to the customization system discussed. This page provides a visual guide to the dragon's transformation abilities in a Kazel, Panzer Dragoon RPG. It showcases the para-para morphing sequence, illustrating how the dragon changes shape as it shifts between different forms like attack type, standard type, skill type, and agile type. Each frame of the transformation sequence is accompanied by a list of the dragon's key stats, including attack power, defense power, skill power, and agility, demonstrating how these attributes change with each form. A description highlights the attack type to standard type transformation, explaining its influence on damage output and defense, likening it to a warrior class in an RPG, and noting its suitability for direct combat. The page effectively demonstrates the core mechanic of adapting the dragon's form and stats to suit different combat situations. This page continues the exploration of the dragon's morphing abilities in a Grizel, Panzer Dragoon RPG. It visually demonstrates two distinct transformation sequences. On the left, we see the dragon shifting from its defense type into the attack type, with each step showing how the dragon's form changes, and its stats like attack power, defense power, skill power, and agility are affected. The right side illustrates the transformation from the agile type back into the standard type, again detailing the visual changes and stat adjustments throughout the process. A small note provides additional context, describing a transformation cycle involving standard, skill, agile, and standard types, and highlights the agile type's impact on the dragon's actions, comparing it to a warrior class, and noting that standard attacks are less effective in this form. This page focuses on the action game Willy Wombat, highlighting its 360-degree rotatable 3D maps and boomerang action. The article introduces the protagonist, Willy, and the game's setting within a controlled society called Prison, detailing Willy's journey seeking freedom after discovering a secret. It explains the game's new display system, AQV, around quarter view, which allows players to rotate the view 360 degrees using the R button, making hidden items and enemies easier to spot. The character design by Susumu Matsushita is also featured, describing Willy's slightly dark impression. Gameplay involves collecting gems scattered throughout stages, and acquiring tokens based on the number collected, which are necessary for saving progress. The page also includes various screenshots showcasing the game's environments and enemies. A table provides standard game information like release date, price, and genre. This page delves into Bulk / a 3D shooting game where you pilot a mecha to save planets from a coup army. The article specifically highlights stages 2 and 3, focusing on the game's narrative backbone, human relationships, and the partner system. You recruit navigation partners hidden on large, explorable planets to assist you. These partners are key to the story, and your interactions can even lead to romance with the heroine. The game features mission briefings before each stage, allowing you to strategize, and your chosen partners grow based on your actions and success, becoming crucial allies in combat. The page shows character portraits, gameplay screenshots, and details how finding partners reveals their information and aids your progress. This page continues the deep dive into Bulk / focusing on the crucial Stage 2 and Stage 3 missions. Stage 2 involves infiltrating a city under siege to destroy enemy fuel tanks, highlighting the game's urban combat environments and the mysterious appearance of partner candidates. The article emphasizes the importance of finding and recruiting these partners, such as the idol Lyraheart, whose abilities and personality are detailed. Stage 3 shifts the focus to protecting the escaping royal spaceship from the relentless coup army. This stage is a desperate battle as you escort the ship through heavy enemy fire, culminating in a confrontation with a massive enemy walker. The page introduces another key character, Medical Fleer, a princess who fled the conflict, and explains her role as a potential partner. The content reinforces that success in Bulk / isn't just about firepower, but relies heavily on strategic partnership and protecting key figures. This page introduces the horror game Kotoden Kureijutsu Hyaku Monogatari, a horror sound novel featuring and supervised by the renowned storyteller of ghost stories, Junji Inagawa. The game adapts 100 real-life, terrifying experiences into interactive horror. Players become participants listening to these tales, presented with 3D environments replicating the locations of the events. The page highlights Inagawa's unique storytelling style and shows various eerie screenshots from the game, illustrating different stories such as Lingering Sunset, Black Hair in the Abandoned House, and The Mountain Pension. The game concept revolves around the traditional Hyaku Monogatari Kaidankai, where 100 candles are lit, and one is extinguished after each story, with something said to happen when the last one goes out. It's a deep dive into Japanese ghost stories brought to life through this unique, interactive experience. This page features the Hudson Fan section, giving updates on upcoming titles. We see details on Kindaichi Case Files, tentative title, an adventure game where you play as the detective solving murder cases. It uses sound novel elements and includes familiar characters. We also get a look at 3, Galaxy Fraulein Una 3, a simulation game with new character designs and animation. The Conehead Club section is a community hub where readers share their Sega Saturn experiences, discuss movies, and general gaming life. There's a lively debate in urgent discussion about collecting limited edition games. Finally, a promotion for a demo disc giveaway is highlighted, offering 1,000 readers a chance to try out 5 titles, including Virus, Bulk / Kotoden Kureijutsu Hyaku Monogatari, Will Wombat, and Momotaro Duchuki. This page is a reader support section, We Are A, where fans cheer for their favorite game characters and share illustrations. Sections feature fan art and letters for popular series like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Dragon Force, Lunar, Sakura Wars, Imperial Theater Guards, and Tokimeki Memorial Fan Club. Readers discuss characters, express anticipation for sequels like Dragon Force 2 and Sakura Wars continuations, and comment on related media like the Lunar movie. Kids Hope and Cone Kids Network board sections host reader opinions and discussions. Fans debate console preferences, particularly the Sega Saturn versus its rivals, lament the lack of new Saturn software, and react to industry news like the apparent disbandment of the Sonic team. There are also comments on the evolution of game culture and the suitability of games for different age groups, highlighting the diverse perspectives within the fan community. This page is a hub for reader contributions, featuring fan art and feedback. The illustration gallery showcases impressive artwork for series like Slayers, Tactics, Ogre, and DX Hired. The Sega AM Freak section highlights games from Sega's AM divisions, with visuals for Sky Target, Knights, and Last Bronx. Readers share their favorite games in My Pick Heart Game, discussing titles such as Guardian Heroes, Policenauts, Snatchers, and Metal Gear, praising their gameplay and storytelling. The Voices Requesting Ports section lets fans express desires for specific games to appear on different platforms, including Tofru, Love Story. The Saturn Fan Mailbag Q&A addresses reader questions, with editors responding on topics like magazine content and the status of the Sega Saturn. The page clearly demonstrates the passionate engagement of the gaming community with their favorite titles and platforms. This page presents the latest game rankings, based on a combination of reader input and actual sales data. The popularity ranking, derived from fan votes, shows Super Robot Wars Flying maintaining its dominance, highlighting its strong fan base. The port request ranking reflects reader desires for games to be released on specific platforms, with titles like Final Fantasy V2 and Vampire Savior topping the list, continuing the theme of player wishes from the previous page. The Saturn sales ranking provides a look at which games are selling well over 2 specific weeks, revealing titles like Kakusei are performing strongly. The page also includes a brief feature interviewing a game store manager for their perspective on the local gaming scene. This page dives into the Ranking Street section, presenting reader rankings and game criticism. Based on reader feedback and scores, the ranking table lists the top 5 games this month. New Theme Park secures the top spot overall, praised as a solid simulation despite being overshadowed in sales by Tokyo Shadow at number 2, a horror-adventure game from Taito. The racing title Touge King the Spirits 2 comes in third, followed by Jante Battle Cosplayer and Gekirin Dan. Each ranked game features reader comments categorized as positive sweet whispers and negative spicy whispers, offering diverse perspectives. The page also includes a call for passionate gamers to submit their own reviews for upcoming releases like Groove on Fight Blam and Machine Head to be featured in the next issue. This page serves as an in-depth guide for the game Fantastep, focusing specifically on how to achieve the coveted true ending. Recognizing the game's deceptive cuteness hides a high degree of freedom and numerous branching paths that can lead players astray, the Game Research Lab provides a clear route. The page features a detailed map correlation diagram showing the connections between the game's various countries and the essential rings found in each. Complementing this is a flowchart outlining the ideal progression path through locations like the Festival Country, Underground Country, Cloud Country, and others, detailing the necessary steps and key items required at each stage to stay on track for the best conclusion. It's an essential resource for players aiming to fully conquer this complex adventure. This page is dedicated to Japanese developer Falcom and features a fan outreach campaign asking players for their opinions on past titles like YS, Sorcerian, and Falcom Classics, as well as requests for future game ports. Fans are encouraged to send in postcards, with prizes offered for participation, including character goods like t-shirts and figures. The page also previews upcoming releases, such as the Windows 95 port, YS2 Eternal. A major focus is the complete MPEG version of Lunar Silver Star Story. This release is highlighted for its enhanced animation quality when using the movie card, showcasing a visual comparison between the standard and MPEG versions. The MPEG version includes original elements like new illustrations, and comes bundled with exclusive trading cards featuring characters from the game. The page features beautiful artwork of Lunar characters, emphasizing the detailed expressions and design. This page reports on Real Sound, Cause No Regret, a unique sound-only adventure game from Warp and director Kenji Ino. The release date is set for July 18th, with development on track. An interview with Kenji Ino discusses the game's story, described as a love story, and the casting process for voice actors like Ai Maeda and Hiroshi Nomura, among others. Eno emphasizes creating atmosphere purely through sound. The page also details a present campaign offering real sound watches. The next page previews Samurai Shodown Bushido Retsuden, an RPG that builds upon the mechanics of the fighting game series. Players choose from several protagonists and independent storylines, one set in Japan and another in the rest of the world. The battle system blends RPG elements with fighting game action, emphasizing agility determined by a character gauge. Actions are selected via 8 icons, including standard attacks, special moves, defense, and formation changes. A fury gauge allows for increased power and the use of ultimate techniques. Special moves can be input using either traditional RPG skill selection or fighting game commands. Battles also feature random events like evades and counterattacks, adding unpredictability. The game is an RPG released on CD. This page continues the deep dive into Samurai Spirit's Bushido Retsuden, showcasing multiple narrative paths. Players can tackle Amakusa Shiro's plot to darken Japan, an epic quest involving pursuing Yagyu Jubei across famous locales like Edo and the Fuji Sea of Trees, while clashing with formidable demons. Alternatively, you might focus on stopping the resurrection of Rasetsu god Mizuki, journeying to Izumo to ally with Jubei, and confront monstrous threats to save the land. The game layers in an elemental attribute system, where types like wind, fire, thunder, cold, holy, demonic, and nothing have specific interactions that heavily influence combat damage. Character elements are fixed, but you have the flexibility to alter equipment attributes. This page features a deep dive into Chunsoft's sound novel adventure game, Machi. It introduces the premise, focusing on the protagonist, Detective Amiya Kima, and the unfolding events of the game's first day. Players will follow Kima as he confronts a mysterious bomb threat, engages in tense encounters with rival gamers in Shibuya game centers, and faces ominous signs of a demonic presence. The page also highlights the appearance of a strange new character within a quiz game, and the crucial task of searching Shibuya for the hidden explosive. Supporting characters who interact with Kima are briefly introduced. The tension culminates with a description of the bomb defusal sequence, emphasizing the critical decision of cutting the correct wire. This report gives a taste of the mystery and suspense players will experience in Machi. This page introduces the world of Mahou Shoujo Pretty Sammy, focusing on the game's original characters and a challenging scenario. We see Pretty Sammy herself and the villainous scientist, Shizuka Barnstein, who has developed the unusual Hellraiser body measurement machine. The machine, intended for physical exams, transforms uncooperative subjects into love monsters, like the featured Kenkuna, healthy girl, monster. The article details a physical exam day gone wrong, where Pretty Sammy and her friends face this bizarre threat. Screenshots show the characters in gym class attire, the Hellraiser machine, the transformation into Kenkuna, and fight scenes as Sammy confronts the monster. The page also mentions the completion of the game's opening movie. It seems this physical exam day becomes a serious crisis for Sammy. This page gives us an update on Photogenic, a unique love and photography simulation game. The core gameplay involves becoming a photographer and building relationships with 3 distinct heroines, Izumi Orihara, Ryuka Kitajo, and Aimi Sakurai, aiming to capture their best moments through the lens. Players manage a schedule, balancing work and training to improve their photography skills over the course of a year, all while preparing for a photography contest. The game features various shooting locations like outdoor spots and studios, with events and opportunities to deepen bonds and capture expressive photos. Success depends on skill, with examples showing how player ability affects the final image quality. This page gives us a detailed look at Slayers Royal, focusing on its early story beats and gameplay. We see the classic duo Lina and Gori encountering the notorious Naga, and a new elf character named Lafark. The article walks through the initial acts of the game, covering events like their first meeting with Naga, investigating rumors about elves, and the discovery of Lakark, and a mystery tied to a legendary castle. Screenshots showcase key dialogue scenes and character interactions. It also previews the game's turn-based spell battle system, demonstrating different magic types like fire and ice, and explaining their effects in combat. It offers a great insight into the start of the adventure and how combat plays out in Slayers Royal. This page delivers a detailed look at Thunder Force V, focusing on the second stage, Woods. It highlights the shifting weather conditions and the unique environments players will navigate. The article breaks down the stage into sections, covering the mid-boss, the multi-legged solid mushroom, and the final stage boss, the imposing Iron Maiden with its 6 powerful legs. Screenshots demonstrate the intense bullet patterns and attack strategies players will face against these formidable enemies, including tactics like avoiding charges and exploiting weak points. Additionally, it introduces a new pilot, Zenith CTN Crawford, alongside her character illustration. The page provides a solid preview of the challenges and visual spectacle awaiting players in this forest stage of Thunder Force V. This page dives into the terrifying world of Phantasm, a horror-adventure game that blends real footage with CG graphics. The story follows protagonist Dan after he moves into a mysterious mansion, encountering bizarre phenomena. The article details the gameplay mechanics, explaining how players use a cursor to explore the detailed environments of the mansion, find items, and solve puzzles to advance the narrative. It emphasizes the importance of checking every nook and cranny, as hidden items and surprising events can occur. Screenshots showcase the creepy atmosphere, various locations within the mansion, and some of the gruesome creatures players will encounter. The preview highlights the game's disturbing scenes and eerie events, promising a chilling experience. This page introduces the game Centifolia Jogakuin, where players take on the role of a robot photographer tasked with creating an album for the school's 100th anniversary. The goal is to photograph the schoolgirls, but first, you have to win a minigame against them, specifically, Achi Muite Hoi, a variation of rock paper scissors. The page highlights the transformation of the girls from their anime-style sprites into real-life actors for the photo sessions, a cool visual effect. Players explore various locations on the school campus, such as the beach, pool, gym, and classrooms, seeking out opportunities to take pictures. Strategy is needed not just in winning the minigame, but also in managing your limited film count to capture the best moments. Ultimately, the photos you take are compiled into a commemorative album. This page dives into the literary fragment, a suspense adventure game based on the terrifying Cthulhu mythos. Ported from PC to Saturn, the game puts you in the middle of a serial murder case that begins at the mansion where the protagonist lives. The story unfolds from 2 viewpoints, switching between the main character, who is haunted by his past, and his partner, a mechanic the game calls Perspective Active. The page introduces the diverse cast of characters involved in the mystery, including police detectives and residents of the mansion, highlighting their roles in the unfolding events. Screenshots show dramatic scenes and character portraits. The next page features a 2-part report. The first section, titled Solo Crisis, is a simulation game for the Saturn where players evolve buildings to gain divine power in a world where humans and demons clash. You act as a god, altering the land and causing miracles using energy derived from human faith. The page shows different building types, from simple houses to a fortress, and features character art for the human and demon side warriors. The second major section highlights a mahjong game called Doju Yaburi, Dojo Breaker, officially recognized by the Japan Professional Mahjong Federation. It's a unique mahjong game where you challenge 11,000 matches played by professional players to break their records. The page details 3 game modes: Dojo mode to challenge 5 different rule sets and opponents, Research mode to analyze past matches, and Record mode to view personal stats. It also showcases screenshots of the mahjong gameplay and character portraits displaying various expressions during play, along with photos and brief profiles of 5 real professional mahjong players who appear as dojo masters. This page dives into the action puzzle game, Magical Drop 2 Odd. The page features vibrant character art for the large cast, which has expanded significantly to 16 playable characters. It explains the core gameplay of dropping and clearing bubbles by matching 3 or more of the same color. The game introduces 2 key rule changes, including how special bubbles interact, and details a variety of new characters joining the Magical Drop world, showcasing their unique special bubbles like the rainbow, ice, bubble, and arrow gems, each with different effects. The magazine highlights 4 distinct game modes to keep players engaged: Hitasura, Endless; Taisen, vs. Human; Ohanashi, Story vs. Calm; and a new Shugoroku, Board Game, mode. Screenshots illustrate the gameplay across these modes, showing the bubble-clearing action and character interactions. The next page presents Waku Waku 7, a unique fighting game centered around the goal of collecting 7 mystical balls. Players build their Waku Waku power gauge through combat to unleash devastating special attacks, including power-up moves, frantic Doki Doki and Hara Hara attacks, and a powerful super mode activation. The game features a colorful and diverse roster of 7 main characters like Rei, Dandij, and Marurun, each with their own distinct style. Adding to the excitement, the memorable bonus character Bonus Kun and the final boss Fernandez are also unlockable for versus play. Screenshots scattered across the page showcase the game's vibrant character designs and dynamic fighting action. This page highlights the 3D fighting action game DX Hired from Takara. It introduces a unique combat system featuring moves like Super Guard, Hakuchobashi, and Jishu Ren, which allow for defensive maneuvers and counterattacks. The page showcases a diverse roster of 10 fighters, including Boy, Seiya, Saotome, and Karen, detailing their backgrounds and signature attacks. It also explains movement techniques in the 3D space, such as sidesteps and spin turns, and reveals how to escape ring-outs. The page culminates with the introduction of a hidden character, Shadow Bowie, explaining the conditions required to unlock and play as him. This page dives into the 3D adventure game Welcome House. It's described as a relatively easy adventure filled with mysteries and American-style humor, perfect even for those who aren't usually good with 3D games. The story follows Keaton as he explores his rich uncle's new house, which is structured across 4 floors, each presenting different puzzles and challenges. Gameplay involves controlling Keaton with basic actions like movement and jumping to navigate the environments and interact with various items and traps. The page highlights some of the unique situations players will encounter on each floor, from tricky floor traps to bizarre obstacles. It also introduces the game's only 2 main characters, the protagonist Keaton and his eccentric uncle Parkinson. The game also features non-essential items, like records, that can be used for fun, like playing music on a jukebox. The next page features 2 distinct sports simulations. First up is Fishing Koshin, a competitive fishing game where high school students battle it out in a 4-round knockout tournament. Players will tackle various fishing types, from black bass in lakes to sea bass and squid in the ocean, all rendered with 3D polygon fish and environments. Managing speed, line tension, and your angler's fatigue is key to landing the big one, with helpful icons providing advice. Then, we have PGA Tour 97, a realistic golf simulation fully licensed by the PGA. It features real professional golfers like Fuzzy Zoeller and Greg Stadler, and includes famous courses like TPC Sawgrass and Spanish Bay. The game boasts an easy-to-use targeting arc system for shots, and offers multiple ways to play, including practice, stroke, tournament, skins, and a fast-paced shootout mode. You can even create and edit your own golfer to compete against the pros. This page features 2 distinct software titles. First is Derby Analyst, a horse racing prediction software ported from PC. It provides tools for predicting race outcomes, detailed analysis for beginners and enthusiasts, views of race newspaper data, entry methods, bloodline analysis, and even offers a forecast for an upcoming major race, promising high-probability predictions. The second title is Amok, a 3D shooting game where you become a hardened mercenary piloting a battle walker. Originally released in America, the game challenges players with diverse missions across the planet Amok, fighting through chaotic battlefields. It highlights the different weapons available, environmental traps, various items to collect for power-ups, and features modes for both cooperative play and head-to-head versus combat with a split screen. The next page is all about the Sega Saturn shooting game, Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Do you remember Love? Released for the franchise's 15th anniversary, it puts you in the cockpit of a Valkyrie variable fighter, showcasing its iconic ability to transform between fighter, Gerwalk, and Batroid modes to tackle different combat scenarios. The game features a weapon system where you select from various gun pods, micro-missiles, and bombers between phases, each offering distinct attack patterns like multiple lock-ons or focused fire. The presentation aims to recreate the movie's atmosphere with cinematic cutscenes and communications during missions. Key characters featured are the protagonist pilot Hikaru Ichijo, the strict officer Misa Hayase, and the beloved idol Lin Minmay, whose story intertwines with the conflict that begins in 1999 with the arrival of the giant alien fortress. This page details the story progression of the Sega Saturn Macross game, presenting the first 8 phases of the campaign. Players will navigate diverse environments from the initial skirmish on South Italia Island and inside the Macross itself, through space battles in the Titan system, asteroid belts, and Saturn's rings, to intense confrontations within enemies and Trati warships and against the Meltrandi fleet. Screenshots illustrate the gameplay across these varied settings. The page also introduces key characters beyond the main trio, featuring profiles for Skull Squadron members Roy Fokker, Maximilian Genius, and Kakizaki Hayao, along with the formidable Meltrandi Ace Melia 639, highlighting their roles in the unfolding conflict. A contest for Macross merchandise is also mentioned. This page dives into the Salamander Deluxe Pack Plus for the Sega Saturn, bringing together 3 classic Konami shooting experiences. The package prominently features Life Force, known as the overseas version of the original Salamander, celebrated for its distinct biological enemy designs and a different power-up system. The collection also includes the excellent sequel, Salamander 2, which boasts significantly upgraded graphics and introduces the strategic option shoot mechanic, allowing players to unleash their multiple options for concentrated fire or auto-aiming attacks. Screenshots showcase the diverse and intense stages found in both games, highlighting the blend of horizontal and vertical scrolling sections and memorable bosses, making this a must-play compilation for shooting game fans. The next page showcases 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Skullfang Kuga Gaiden, a high-octane shooting game. It emphasizes strategic gameplay beyond just firepower, focusing on controlling your ship's speed and utilizing power-ups dropped by enemies. Players can select from 4 different fighter craft and 2 unique pilots, each offering varied abilities and special moves, including the powerful Sunit transformation and devastating hyper mode. Screenshots highlight intense boss battles and different weapon effects. On the right is the vibrant puzzle game Magical Drop. This section features the game's colorful cast of characters in a large illustration. It briefly mentions the game itself and details a promotional campaign and its release information in Japan. Magical Drop is a fast-paced puzzle experience known for its engaging character roster and addictive bubble-popping action. This page features impressions and reviews of Sega Saturn software currently available or releasing soon, offering insights from multiple reviewers to help players decide what to buy. It includes a brief introduction to the reviewers themselves and a list of games expected between June 6th and 13th. Featured games include J.League, Go Go Goal, a soccer game noted for its tactical depth and somewhat difficult controls, though the movement is smooth. Reviewers had varied opinions on its enjoyment, averaging a 6.0 score. Next is Macross, Do You Remember Love? A shooter based on the movie, highly praised for its quality and intense battles, especially appealing to fans, despite varying difficulty levels, scoring an 8.0 average. Game Tengoku is a fun shooter featuring characters from Jaleco games, lauded for its fan service, solid shooting gameplay, and lively atmosphere, averaging a 6.4. Finally, Everblue GE is a dating simulation game recommended for its character interactions and ease of play, though some found events repetitive. It received a 6.8 average score. Each game review includes multiple perspectives from the different critics. This page features more Sega Saturn software impressions from the same group of reviewers. First up is Ryukeiki 5000 Nen, an adventure game that received a mixed reception, with reviewers finding it lacking depth and excitement, though the story wasn't terrible. It averaged a score of 4.2. Next, Welcome House, another adventure game, is described as having simple puzzles but humorous gags. Reviewers noted the slow movement speed and some frustration with controls, giving it an average score of 5.2. Impact Racing, a 3D racing game, is highlighted for its simple rules and decent racing mechanics, although some reviewers felt the 3D graphics lacked polish and clarity. It scored an average of 6.4. Finally, Nihon Pro Mahjong Renmei Ninsho Mishijo Yaburi, a mahjong game, is presented as a challenging title where the opponent is quite strong. Reviewers noted the satisfactory feeling of breaking through the opponent's defenses, resulting in an average score of 6.0. There's also a brief reviewer discussion panel at the bottom, referencing the Macross game covered on the previous page. This page features a vibrant promotional spread for the Sega Saturn game, Angelic Concert, Cyber Angel SS. The striking artwork dominates the page, showcasing several anime-style characters with distinct hair colors, including red, green, and purple, enveloped in light and wings. Smaller screenshots on the right offer glimpses of the game's visuals, depicting character portraits and group scenes. The prominent red text announces the game's title, Angelic Concert, positioned alongside SS, Cyber Angel SS, indicating its platform. The page details the game's scheduled release date as June 20th, Friday, and its price of 5,800 yen, excluding tax. Credits for the original work, scenario, illustration, and character design are listed. There's also a list of voice cast members for the Angelic Character Voices section, featuring numerous names associated with the characters like Falselmania, Clear Littles, and others. This page serves as an exciting preview for fans anticipating the game's launch. This page is a fan section titled Air Run Fan, focusing on the Sega Saturn game Extra. It introduces two heroines from the game, Aoyama Misaki and Sakurazawa Kaori, detailing their personalities and showing various screenshots of them in different scenes, including an "Accident Occurred" section featuring Kaori in a dinosaur exhibit. There's also a spotlight on this month's Swati-sama, with artwork, and a Sawati Goddess Promotion Committee section, suggesting these are other topics or characters popular with fans, with a call for reader mail and illustrations. The next page kicks off a new series focused on the classic dating sim, Tokimeki Memorial. It explores various date spots like the sports center, department store, and park, showing screenshots of potential scenes with Saki Nijino. There's also news about a Windows 95 screensaver and wallpapers featuring the game's characters. Additionally, the page includes a corner for female fans of Hod Step Idols, revealing the voice actors behind the group and highlighting popular member Kawaii-kun with new screenshots. The Idol Encyclopedia section profiles characters like Ryosuke Kozaka, Yuta Hayami, and Kenji Nomura, providing details and character art for fans. This page dives into the highly anticipated Virtua Striker 2, giving us a look at the new national teams joining the fray. As an expert who spent countless hours on the pitch, I can tell you the deep dive into the tactical formations is exactly what players need. We see brief breakdowns of teams like Portugal's midfield strength, Russia's defensive counterattacks, Croatia's offensive 352, and Belgium's aggressive 433, along with several others, complete with screenshots showing their formations and gameplay. It's exciting to see how these new teams will shake up strategies. The page also announces the first official Virtua Striker 2 tournament at Sega headquarters, offering fans a chance to prove their skills. This page dives into the competitive fighting game scene and a live-action adaptation. First up is the Virtua Fighter 3 Java T-Battle Koshien tournament, announcing the regional qualifier venues now decided across Japan. We see a photo of Mr. Shin, a past tournament winner, highlighting the high level of competition expected. There's also a chance for fans to win posters and mugs in a related promotion. Then, we turn to the live-action versus cinema movie, based on Last Bronx, set to debut for rental on June 13th. The page features screenshots promising the intense, weapon-based combat the game is known for, and introduces the main cast bringing the characters to life. An interactive fan corner welcomes submissions on game strategies and artwork. This page continues the deep dive into the popular arcade shooter, The House of the Dead, focusing on the epic final confrontation. It breaks down the strategy for defeating the magician, detailing his attack patterns A, B, and C, and offering tips on how to handle his formidable fire-based assaults, complete with illustrative screenshots. The feature then delves into the game's multiple endings, exploring the variations based on player performance and outcomes for characters like Logan and Gag, showing images of the different conclusions. But the excitement doesn't stop there, as the page also introduces the highly anticipated fighting game, Vampire Savior, the latest entry in the Darkstalkers series. Promising faster battles and a more comical tone compared to its predecessor, it highlights the new impact damage gauge system that shakes up the traditional round structure. Screenshots showcase the vibrant cast and intense action, giving players a taste of the unique characters and special moves awaiting them. Finally, there's a mention of a cool HUD t-shirt giveaway for fans. This page showcases Hyper Alt Tech, a compendium of tips, tricks, and secrets for a variety of games. It provides specific commands and codes to unlock everything from hidden cars in King the Spirits 2, to accessing special modes and level selects in games like and 3. Readers can find ways to reveal hidden characters and unlock features in get gameplay advantages in the horse racing sim and even change names in The section also encourages readers to submit their own Sega Saturn cheats for publication. This page previews several upcoming games in a Coming Soon section. One highlight is Detective Mitten's investigation file, The Clown Murder Case, a reimagining of a classic PC adventure game, featuring a new movement system and a watercolor-like visual style. The game follows Detective Minton investigating a murder in Brighton, showcasing character portraits and environment screenshots. The page also features Baroque, an RPG set in a desolate world centered around the mysterious Nerve Tower. Players explore 3D dungeons, facing off against strange creatures. The preview emphasizes the game's unique enemy designs and the smooth 3D graphics rendered by a dedicated engine. Finally, there's a contest seeking a logo design for the Baroque game. This page showcases more upcoming titles in the coming soon lineup. First up is Full Cowl Mini 4WD Super Factory, a simulation based on the popular manga, letting you tune machines, design tracks, and race against rivals. There's a Quiz Nanero Dreams, Rainbow Miracle, a unique quiz RPG mashup with a board game feel, where answering questions helps you pursue romance with different girls, even adding new character scenarios. For sports fans, Top Anglers, Super Fishing Big Fight 2 brings realistic fishing action with various fish types and detailed technique guidance, while Gekitotsu Koshien offers a high school baseball simulation emphasizing player development and featuring realistic motion capture. If action is more your style, Crazy Iwan puts you in a giant robot cockpit for intense 3D shooting against aliens. And Wiz is a pop action game where you control a magician rabbit navigating blocky levels with unique contraptions. This page features a lineup of upcoming titles across various genres. First up is Fighter's History Dynamite, detailing the Saturn version with its refined balance and added features, showcased with vibrant fighting screenshots. Adjacent to it, Fans Form is an adventure game starring a character exploring a unique world, with images showing exploration and quirky actions like throwing and sliding. Following this, Finalist presents a 3D shooting experience focused on strategic weapon use against enemies, illustrated with futuristic ship and combat visuals. Below that, Primal Rage brings fierce fighting action with monstrous characters, highlighting intense battles and special moves. Darkseid 2 is also featured, continuing the H.R. Giger-inspired adventure with eerie visuals and hints of mysterious events. Finally, a section on new title trends previews upcoming games like Puyo Puyo Sun and Sakura Taisen, suggesting a wave of diverse releases is on the horizon. This page presents the Upcoming Titles Report, dedicated to keeping tabs on the progress of highly anticipated software. The section features concise updates on a wide variety of games, including Panzer Dragoon RPG, Grandia, Marvel Superheroes, and many more. Each entry includes a screenshot, details about the genre and developer, and comments from the magazine staff about the game's development status and what to expect. It's a quick check-in on diverse genres like RPGs, fighting games, adventures, and simulations nearing completion. This page presents a comprehensive sale calendar detailing upcoming software for the Sega Saturn console, organized by month, stretching from May through October and extending into various undecided periods like summer, autumn, winter, and into 1997 and 1998. It lists numerous titles expected for release. For each entry, the game title is provided alongside the developer or publisher and the price. The calendar includes notes indicating whether a title is completely new to the listing or if its name has been changed. This provides gamers with a clear overview of the diverse range of titles anticipated across different genres in the coming months. This page announces the next issue of Saturn Fan is scheduled for release on June 13th. The main focus is a large advertisement for the upcoming tactical RPG, Langrisser IV. It features striking character art by Satoshi Urushihara for the character Angelina, showcases screenshots displaying the grid-based strategic gameplay and character statistics, and confirms a planned release for July. The ad highlights the game's deep strategy simulation and dynamic 2D battles. Also included is a game index listing numerous titles covered within the magazine, with page references. This page showcases two upcoming games. The first is Dukyusei 2, a romance-adventure game featuring a large cast of school characters and vibrant artwork. It's presented as a 2-disc package scheduled for release in July. The advertisement also notes that an extra story from the Graduation S series is included. The second game featured is Graduation S, a training simulation. This ad highlights several character scenes and mentions a special limited edition package that comes with a student handbook and school emblem. Graduation S is slated for release soon. Both games are published by NEC Interchannel.